Shalom, brothers and sisters. First and foremost, all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and double honors to the elders and honors to you brothers who are doing the work. Once again, this is another episode of GMS Myth Destroyers. I'm Awar.
Zahab.
And basically the spirit been, on us, just mainly we realize what times we getting into. I know y'all brothers, if y'all watched the last couple videos since we started back, it's been mainly on how you should carry yourself and how you should, the type of person you should try to be because of the hard times that's coming in America. And I guess, as you see, like Elder Gabar, he gets into the guillotine. Like, what would you do if your head was put into the guillotine or anything like that? It's something similar with us because Spirit just been on us to realize that if you're not in the right mind frame, you're not gonna stand a chance. If you still carrying luggage from the world in you, you're not gonna stand a chance when that great day of the Lord is here, man. Because you're gonna be tempted with all types of devices or riches. You're gonna be tempted with a lot of things, and if you ain't stone cold in the faith, got faith like stone, it ain't moving. You ain't gonna make it because you could be tortured. You could get offered riches. They could come up to you and tell you to sell out. They could threaten your family. They could take them away from you. Anything to get you to do wickedness. So in these times, we realize that you have to be spiritual and you have to always remember these scriptures. So that's why we've been harping on this so much, and we feel that it's very necessary because I know personally, I often see things and hear things from certain guys. They bickering over stupid shit, just to be honest, man. Like, you finding it hard to just be a brother. When really, in the times that's coming, man, you can't even be a good brother. But when martial law comes, what can you do? If you can't do something like that, man. So yeah, we all have to be spiritual men in this thing, and we gotta grow, All right.
Yeah, with that being said, alright, because when you first come to the truth, man, you're not operating on the old you anymore, man. You operate on a whole new element, and that's the spirit part side of you, man. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go and skip to again Romans 7:22.
Romans chapter 7, verse 22. For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man.
After the inward man, alright? What does it mean, the inward man? Your inward man is your spirit, man. Because didn't I say that basically we're angels and bodies, man? That's what the book of Romans 7:8 was about. We're in chains of darkness. The chains of darkness is your flesh. And everything that's opposed to the Most High operates in your flesh. That's why he said, I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man. But what?
But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind.
Yeah, the law of your members basically tell you to fear, be carnal. But the law of your mind tells you to be resolute, be strengthened, so to speak, be faithful, be fearless. That's why he said he has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. Go ahead.
And bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members.
Which is in my members. So basically, when it comes down to it, the inner man is what we're going to get on today. Because the inner man is what's going to get you out of here. Operate on the inner man and being consistent and operate on the inner man is what's going to make you pass and be stable in these times. Because the inward man is going to retain something that's going to make him get out of here. And that's the fruit of understanding. With that, get 2 Corinthians 4:16, unless you got something on deck too.
2 Corinthians what?
4:16.
2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 16. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day.
The inward man is renewed day by day. Alright, and this goes right into the times that we're going to be in, because it said our outer man perish. You catching all types of hell, man. Some brothers catching hell on their job, in their houses. Some brothers catching hell because they can't get a consistent job. Brothers can't really, you know what I'm saying, get comfortable, so to speak, or be stable, financially stable, so to speak. But what's burning, they're not getting their little thing off, man. You know, their little rocks off. Because we all need that. Because the harder you catch hell, the more assertive you are towards women, the more you desire sex.
Or the more you desire an outlet, period.
An outlet, period. That's why brothers, they become boisterous. You see Jake, they go to the clubs and they go out and they all loud, and because really they're groping. This their little outlet. You know, they've been oppressed by Esau.
Yeah, and really, Jakes ain't supposed to be in no club anyway, man.
Yeah, I'm just talking about, you know, Jake in general, but that's the truth. But when you...
I just, the reason I brought that up is because you got some Jakes, some of them don't know, and some of them do know, you know. You got some of them, they'll ask you, can they go to the club or whatever, you know. It ain't nothing in no club for a man of the Lord, all right?
That's a whole other element, man.
Now, if you go to the bar and get something to drink, that's you. With a club where they smoking and drinking and nothing but whores parading around, and a whole bunch of niggas with guns sneaking them in there, that ain't no place for us, man. that ain't nowhere in our element. It's better to be in the house of mourning than the house of feasting, all right?
Yep. And is it more than that?
No, I didn't.
Alright, get Ezekiel 2:8. Speaking of feast, because when you first came into this truth and you start to operate on the spiritual, man, that's like a physical person has to eat and become nourished. That spiritual man has to eat spiritual food to become nourished and grow. So we're going to see how that works into the scriptures. Ezekiel 2:8.
Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 8. But thou son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee.
Eat that I give you. Go ahead.
And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein.
It was the scriptures. Go ahead.
And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without. And there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe.
What was that roll, that scroll of the book? It was the word, man. And he didn't physically eat a book for you simpletons, man. His spirit ate the book, so to speak. What happened was he was absorbed into the information that he was getting into the scriptures. You ever read so much that you forgot to eat real food? He got absorbed into the knowledge, the destruction of America and all that. So he spiritually ate the book. See? But that strengthens your spiritual man. That's why when like Ezra went on his fast, his flesh was weary. He went on a 7-day hell fast. His flesh was out of there, but his visions were vivid because he received the visions in his inward man. And this truth, from now on in the truth, you operate on the inward man. That's why it says in Corinthians that all the Yahweh Shah are a new creature.
Yeah, fasting is necessary in this truth, man, because you're not perfect in this truth. And the Most High, he deals with you when you're fasting. You get to see a lot of things, and your mind is more focused while you're fasting. So you're not out making yourself unclean or anything like that. So basically, you have a vessel that the Most High can deal with. So therefore, he shows you. He was showing the prophet certain things, like Esdras, and that's something only spiritual men do. Spiritual men sit there and fast like that for the Lord, and fast on concerns and things like that. But what? Tell me, what does these carnal 2/3 jakes out there do, man? They don't do the Sabbath. They eat pork. We all know that. They definitely don't fast. And if they did go without eating, it wasn't intentionally, man. So yeah, you know.
They ran out of food stamps.
Yeah. Yeah, no more food stamps for them.
Yeah, could you hit that again?
Keep going to chapter 3.
Nah, let's get back to the point we
I
said.
said eat.
Yeah.
Verse 10, and he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. Chapter 3, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel.
So now we understand that his spiritual man was being nourished in the scriptures. Now we can get some insight on 2 Peter 2:2. Alright? Because when you come into this truth, that's why it says you must be born again. You know? That's why it says you must be born again. What is it talking about? That means it's like a snake that shed its skin. Your skin that is shed is the flesh. But now you operate in the spirit. But the spirit, in a spiritual sense, acts like a child, in a sense. Go ahead.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 2. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom...
Is that First Peter's is newborn babes?
Yeah, that's First Peter's. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. Wherefore laying aside all malice...
That's the OU. Go ahead.
Wherefore laying aside all malice, and all guile, and hypocrisies, and envies, and all evil speakings, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
See, in Romans 7, when it said, I delight in the law of the Most High to the inward man, that newborn babe is the birth of that inner man. Alright? And just in the proof on that, when it says desire the sincere milk, that's the beginning of the inward man. And at that point, it's independent. It's dependent of his parents. So we first came into this truth as spiritual babes. Who were our parents that fed us the sincere milk? Get Ephesians 6:1. So you gotta know how it works, and this is how the Most High deals with you. He deals with you in the spirit. So the brother said, you gotta constantly condition yourself to stay in the spirit.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
But it said the parents in the Lord, right? Who are the parents in the Lord? It's your elders. They fed you the milk. That's why I said in Hebrews, I forget exactly what verse and chapter, but it says how strong meat belongs to them that are aged. You know? Because when they're aged, you mature. When you first come in, just like a baby, a suckling, had to be breastfed the scriptures. But then you get on the level where basically you get out there in the field and plow. But you plow for what? Get Sirach 6:19. See? This is the evolution of the spiritual man, you know? The puberty, so to speak. When you first come into this thing, you get the milk from the elders, but then you get on a certain level. You got to get there and labor for your own fruit.
Do your own research.
Yep.
Sirach chapter 6, verse 9. And there is a friend who being turned...
19.
6, verse 19. Sirach.
So good.
Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits.
Who is there her? It's wisdom. So when you in the spirit and you come on a certain level in the spirit, you no more you no more just depend on the milk from the elders. Now you're, metaphorically speaking, old enough to get out there in the field and plow for the fruit. The fruit of what? Understanding. Basically what I'm saying is you could open up the scriptures and put precepts to precepts together and get an understanding of what the scriptures is talking about without solely depending on the elders.
Right, and get what the brother is saying. He's not saying, okay, I done learned 1 or 2 scriptures from the elders. Now I'm doing my own thing.
Right.
No. still listen to the elders. You still, learn and you still grow. But it's to a point to where you can go out on the highways. You know how to maneuver around the Bible. You know the breakdowns. You know what you're doing in the Word. But you still have to, but there's still the elders and they're still growing too.
And that's why Paul.
And I got a scripture.
All right, go ahead. You got the scripture.
Because you have had guys like that. They learn one or two scriptures and think they know more than the elders know. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 8, verse 9. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need requireth.
And the proof of what was being said, just to clear everything out, when Paul planted those churches, he went back and visited some of those churches, and he constantly sent epistles out to keep those churches in order. He doesn't establish the different churches across Asia Minor, so Asia Minor just forgot about them. He checked up on them. He reproved them. He constantly filled them with knowledge. But like I was saying, when you start off in the scriptures and you start off in the truth, you're the newborn babe. That's the beginning of you operating on the inward man, so to speak. And with that, you have to labor for your own fruit. And then the scriptures goes into what? Not being slothful in business. Because when you're laboring for the fruit of understanding, you have to be diligent in the scriptures. So Proverbs 19 and 15 right quick. 15 and 1. As a matter of fact, just get Romans 12 and 11.
Romans chapter 12, verse 11. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord.
Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit. There goes that word spirit. Because in order to serve the Lord, you got to be in the spirit in the first place, man. So before you even say you claim to be in the truth or saying the truth, the first principle is to control your flesh, man. The first principle in being in the spirit or operating in the spirit, the first thing you got to do is control your flesh. Get Galatians.
Yeah, we know you'll be up in camp and you'll have one of them women walking down the street, breast all out and everything. She looked pretty good. But yeah, at that moment in time, you got to control your flesh, man.
Yep, and even on a day-to-day basis, you just got to practice. Because really what you practice when nobody's looking, it's going to show when you are around everybody.
Yeah, then you got to, hold your tongue a lot of times. You got to know how to just act, man. And when we getting into these lessons, we want you to keep in mind that America is about to be destroyed. These are the things that's finna happen. Become a serious-minded individual, man, in this truth. Become a serious-minded person when it comes to this truth. Because like I keep on repeating, if you not, you will not make it, man.
You're going to bug out.
You're going to bug out. You're going to take the chip if you're not serious-minded.
That's why we push in this lesson. Like, it ties into that. The end result is America getting destroyed, right? Mm-hmm. A series of events is going to happen. You got to be in a particular mind frame to endure what's going to happen. Yeah. We're telling, through the Spirit, we're covering how to get in that mind frame. It's basically being in the Spirit, man. So you can see everything through the Spirit, through prophecy.
Because you'll see us make jokes and stuff. I mean, we're Israelites, we like jokes. We got sense of humor and all that. But you gotta know when to cut that off, man. Some brothers don't know when to cut it off. And then they'll wonder, they'll be like, dang, why am I getting rebuked or anything like that? That's because there's a time for everything, man. And you gotta know when it's time to get serious, man.
Like now.
Yeah, like now. When there ain't no time to be playing around, man. Like when you think they got the when you think they martial law coming and they putting the guillotine and they bringing out guillotines, they threatening to kill brothers, they threatening to kill families, separation of families, famines, all this madness that's going on. You think it's gonna be a time to play around, man? Think it's gonna be a joking matter? Well, if you in a joking mind frame when it come, you gonna slip up, man. Cause that means you take everything as a joke. And this here ain't no joke, man. This ain't no joke. That's why I said, that's why we keep on being repetitive with it, you know?
Yep.
Cause that's pretty much what we preparing for now. Cause we all see it. When we talk amongst each other, we like, man, it's close. It's closer and closer. We gotta get ready. Gotta get ready. Oh yeah. I know y'all be like, man, that's how them brothers from Mississippi talk about. Hey man, but that's what's on our spirit, man. You know? Alright, go ahead.
Galatians 5 and 24.
Alright. Revelation.
Excuse me, Galatians.
Alright. Galatians 5 and 24.
Okay.
Alright. Galatians chapter 5 verse 24. And they that are Yahushai's have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts.
But see, there's a cause and effect. When you cut that part off, your spirit grows, and not cut it off like don't have sex, but when you cut off that concupiscence, the lasciviousness part of you, then your spirit waxes. It waxes and it grows, and then all of a sudden you realize that you could dive into the scriptures like you haven't done before, like you've never done before, because when you got two opposing forces, the spirit and the flesh. And basically once the flesh is subjected, the spirit just grows.
Yep, and when it comes to flesh and lust, it don't have to just do with concupiscence.
It's fighting, it's everything.
It's anything, man. Your flesh can deal with your anger problems, man, or just how carnal you can be. And your lust, you can covet after a lot of things, man. You can see that guy with the big rims or the big house or the nice women or all the money. He got it by rapping or selling drugs. You ain't got nothing. You barely got a pot to piss in. And you seeing that and you actually lusting after it, man. You can be in those situations, but you have to cut that off.
Yeah, that's why you got something called sensual living. Anything that arouses the senses. What is your senses? It's your flesh. Mm-hmm. See, touch, hear, smell, feel. Those are the senses that arouses the flesh. So like the brother was saying, it's just not subject to one thing. Concupiscence, it goes into a lot of things. Basically anything that arouses the flesh, that can entice the flesh.
Yep.
And I said the concupiscence because that's one of the main things that Jake stumbled over in this truth.
Oh yeah. That box, man. It'll make Jake act like they never seen it before, man. They just head going around and everything.
Not that slut special.
Yeah, not a slut special. And the slut's a virgin.
Yeah, she's a virgin. She got pictures all over the internet. With her ass in the camera.
Yeah, her ass up, on Facebook or whatever, She in a swimsuit with a G-string on Facebook. But yeah, she's a virgin, She's a virgin. And you got some gullible jakes out there that actually believe it. Then they'll get mad at you when you like, hey brother, I don't know about that. Maybe don't you think you trust in that a little too much?
Yeah, I think you give a damn about it too much.
Yeah. Shouldn't you be even more concerned about this truth? Because a lot of these women lie to you, and then when you pop them, and there don't be no bleeding, they have an excuse already ready, So Yeah, man, to hell with these women anyway, man.
That's why I said crucify the flesh, because what you're gonna realize, once you get your flesh under subjection, you're not gonna overreact on women like that. You're not gonna overreact on dumb stuff like that. It's nothing special about that. What happens is you weaken the flesh, and once you let your flesh take over, then you overreact on things that arouse your flesh. You know, once you get that part subjected, you're gonna realize, yeah, I like it, but it is what it is. You know.
Yeah, and it's not gonna completely go away.
Yeah, it's not.
The old man not gonna completely go away, but you damn near need to have him gone. You know.
Well, you're gonna battle it in the truth.
Yeah.
Well, some days you're gonna be on point, thinking you're gonna be the man till the Most High come back. The next day you fell back a couple steps, but you know it says it was just man follow, but he get back up. That's why we went into the whole recidivism thing a couple months ago. St. John 3:37. You had a precept? St. John 3:37. Because it's a reason why we're telling you these things, and it's a reason why we're emphasizing the point where you got to operate in the spirit. And hopefully that sheds some light on when we say being in the spirit.
3:37.
Yeah, St. John 3. No, excuse me. St. John 3:3-7.
Okay. Yeah, man, because we some young guys, man. And we get troubled a lot by a lot of these things, man. By a lot of these youthful lusts, man. That Paul told Timothy to beware of, because Timothy was a real young man, and he said avoid youthful lusts. And there's a whole bunch of other young guys that's very young too.
And I'm gonna say this: when you do control it, you become a little bit more forceful. You know what I mean? When you see it, when you do control, because it's building up in you. So when you do control it to a certain extent, it's even more hard when you see it in person to go out and resist it. It's like going to jail and leaving jail.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's part of the struggle in this truth.
Yeah.
As far as being young men, and just keep on going. If you do slip, hey, don't sit there and follow out the truth over it. Keep pushing. Get right. All right. John chapter 3, verse 3. Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High.
But what does it mean to be born again? Like I brought out, born again is that spiritual man has awakened, so to speak. And it started off as a babe. It got nourished in the scriptures with the milk, the breakdowns. The Lord is black with the Israelites. Then he got a little stronger. He learned how to stroll on 2 feet. He know how to go and get that plow and get the fruits of understanding by itself. And he still get nourished, with the elders, but mainly he has independency now. So he's independent, and basically it started out being born again. All right, that's when you first woke up. It struck you. Now you're in the spirit. Go ahead. Is that it?
Nicodemus said.
Oh no, it's not. Get the 7. Go to 7.
All right, verse 7.
I'm sorry. Go to 7. Read the 7.
Oh, okay. Verse 4. Nicodemus saith unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Yahushua answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Which is the word. But what does it mean he can't get into the kingdom? Because our spirit's going to be the same. We just going to get new tabernacles. But basically, you're conditioning your spirit to be like unto the Most High. That's why you have laws, statutes, and commandments. It's to groom you into that position. All right, and get 1 Peter 2. It's like 1 Peter 1, verse 23.
All right, you want me to finish?
Yeah, go ahead. It's a lot.
That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit.
Yeah.
Marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again.
But that's what it means. And they went over Nicodemus' head. But basically, you crucifying that old man, which is the flesh, and you going off in the spirit. We have two different. Every Israelite man has two different properties. He has the physical him and the spiritual him. Basically, you shut down one so the other can grow. That's how you feed your flesh physical food. You feed the inner man, the inward man, spiritual food.
Yeah, you can't serve two, man.
Yep, you can't.
You gonna either want to feed the spiritual more and shut down the carnal, or you gonna shut down the spiritual to feed your carnal, man. Either one.
Right.
And we've seen it. Guys have shut down the spiritual side.
Fulfill their lust.
Yep, to fulfill the lust, man. To smoke, to chase women, chase money, chase careers, go to college, get tattoos,
Yep.
for the children. And then, this society is so sensitive that when we say they'll stop for their children, they'll look at that like that's a good thing. You done turned your back on the Most High for your children, man. You know, a man has millions and millions and millions of sperm.
And then
You can make children, man. Make more children.
Then the Most High said he have not left the righteous forsaken nor a seed begging for bread. So that goes to show you it's a faith thing, man.
Right.
If you was in the spirit, you would have known that, to whom it pertained to, man.
Exactly. But everybody don't. That's why I said if you're not serious minded, then you're not. The reason why we stick on this is because if you're not serious minded and you're not, and you don't ground yourself in this truth, you're not gonna think of that when it comes martial law. You're not gonna think when I'm in the concentration camp, oh, Daniel was thrown in the lion's den. Oh yeah, the prophet Micah was thrown in the prison by Ahab.
Or the 7 sons.
Yeah, or the seven sons of Maccabees died for this truth. You know? Saul tried to kill King David.
Now you know what they're gonna be thinking that? What about my kids, man?
Yeah, man, I gotta get up out of it. I need to do something. That's the thing. I need to do something. But no, you can't do anything. The Lord is what does something all the time. Peter, when Peter was up in the prison, the angel of the Lord came and his cuffs fell right off of him, man. Then he got out the prison. And the guards didn't know what happened. And actually one of them guards came into the truth, didn't it? After that?
I think he did. I have to read back over.
Yeah. It was one of them moments where one of them guards actually, I think it was that time, one of them guards came into the truth. When he seen that. He seen that and he believed.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, but when you're not grounded and when you fearful, that's why I said the fearful ain't gonna make it, man. But the spiritual man, he's gonna remember these things. And he's gonna be like, wait a minute, I ain't scared of this damn devil. What can he do? What can he do to you besides give you the chip and make your life a living hell some more, you know? It's already a living hell now. So you take the chip just to live, to eat chemtrail infected food, live under New World Order, live under a world that despises the Most High. For what? I mean, what, to live? To just, well, you're not even really living, man. So yeah, a guy like that who will take the chip, he deserved death. And you understand more and more why the Most High gonna kill him. You know?
Yep.
Alright, you want a 2 Peter's what?
1 Peter's 1, verse 23.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 23. Being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible by the word of the Most High, which liveth and abideth forever. For all flesh is as grass, and all the glory of man as the flower of grass. The grass withereth, and the flower thereof falleth away. But the word of the Lord endureth forever. And this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you.
The word of the Most High endure forever. But the point was, we've been born again in the Spirit. And one of the things in this truth, now that you got that man on his 2 feet, you're going to find out that it's a fight to stay in the truth. And you have to stretch your spiritual muscle, so to speak. And the way you strengthen your spiritual muscle in the real world is what? Resistance training. You got that band against you, right? Force you to go back, but you're resisting by going forward. And that's how it is in this truth spiritually, because you're moving forth in the face of adversity. So your flesh wants you to regress or go backwards. And your spirit wants you to go forward. But that's why I'm going to close it out with this, unless you have something else afterwards.
Go ahead.
Hebrews 12:4. Because it's a reason why I said resistance training. You know, through resistance training, you expand your muscles and everything. You know, for brothers that, know a little about that. You stretch your muscles and everything. But guess what? You have a resistance training in the spirit. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like you see that guy, that pink wearing guy who just got beat by Mayweather, Cotto.
Yeah.
He trains in the sand. You know, why is training in the sand beneficial? Because sand, it gets heavy, and sand is a good resistance. You got people who train in water, they swim, it's all good resistance training.
Yeah, the military do it.
Yep. So when they outside the water, you know, they're lightning fast, man. They're lightning fast, I mean. So the same thing with your spirit. Through all the temptation and you know, through all the weariness, you able to keep on doing what you do in the spirit and disciplining your mind and your spirit to just keep on going. That's how you make it strong. And
it's all in the mind, man. The spirit is in your mind. It all starts off in your mind. Any athlete will tell you this is a mental sport.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the truth.
And when it comes to them athletes, when it come to sports like basketball, especially football, they'll tell you this ain't for everybody. They tell you that, the coach will tell you that all the time. This ain't for everybody. Then they'll weed the niggas out. You know, they'll weed the bad part out, man.
The unfit.
The unfit. They'll sift them out, man. I played the sport, so I've seen it time and time again, man. They weed you out. They sit there and look. They're like, that guy ain't gonna do nothing. He a joke. Look at him. He runs slow. He ain't serious. Cut him. Tell him not to come back. Same way with this truth. If the Most High, when the Most High see you're taking it as a game, he won't, he's gonna put you out, man. Then he's gonna embarrass you afterwards. That's why you got these guys, they got these nicknames and everything, man. Like General Hyena, Nate Satan, High Time Coons, Bubble Eyed Blackfish, and all them other, the 2/3 Club. Mm-hmm. You know, you mocked. And the Lord's going to mock you, according to Proverbs chapter 1. Oh. All right. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 4. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin.
There goes the resistance. Resistance training. It's all about resisting the flesh. It's not that you're going to go in the spirit and all of a sudden it's smooth sailing. It's going to be adversity. But that's the whole point of this truth. That's why I said endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. Fight the good fight of faith.
Yeah. One last scripture based off what you said, because don't think once you learn this truth and like the brother said, now you're in the spirit, it's time for smooth sailing. Hell no, man. Actually, your life about to get a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
If it was already bad, oh, it's finna get worse. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Trials, adversity, man. You know, you're gonna catch it. You know, brothers bones cracking and stuff, man. Brothers
Sure.
getting old, man. And we early, man. We young, man.
Mm-hmm.
Brother's spirit got old, man. You know,
Back problems.
back problems, man. Body deteriorating, out of man perishing, catching hell, baby crying. You know.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep, just catching it, man. And I mean, we not trying to go to no college or any of that madness, man. Not working on no careers. It's all giving up for the Lord. So when you give everything up, sometimes you got to get that job up, man.
Yeah, and your family really push that vibration. You don't go back to school. You too smart. You too gifted.
Yeah.
But they don't see that the America's about to be destroyed.
Yeah, they don't really see it. You know, they don't really see it the way. They don't really understand it the way that you understand it.
Nope.
And the way that I know this is because my grandfather, who died a couple months ago, I remember when I was a real young man, like 5 or 6, and he used to talk about the Lord all the time. But he knew he was an Israelite, and he was always talking about this truth. But I was a young man, I didn't know anything about that. I'm like 6 years old. So I'm thinking he's just talking a lot, like one of them preachers. But when I got older and came into this truth, I actually understood everything what he was saying. And I understood the bullshit, the difference between the bullshit and the actual real truth. But to everybody else, they just thought it was just a whole bunch of talking. Still.
Oh.
So that's the same way they look at us. It's like a whole bunch of talking.
And they think that's your character. He wanted to do was to talk about the end of the world.
Yeah. That's it. They don't really see any substance or significance in what we saying. That's why when you brothers be teaching, you looking at people walk right by you, and you're like, dang, did they not just see a bunch of guys dressed in garments? Like you just walk right by like it's nothing there.
With Bibles in their hands and the 12 tribe sign and the Caesar with horns on it. You didn't see it. You missed it.
Right. You missed it. Matter of fact, you looked that way, but it was like nothing was there. But, and you know, people like that, the Lord gonna kill them, man. The Lord gonna kill them.
Despise the word.
Well, yep, they despise the word, because when you hear the word coming out, you should be wanting to see what's going on. Like, what are they actually even talking about anyway? Is it garbage? Is it not?
They do not consider.
Yep.
Sorry for the outburst, but it hit me.
No, it's true.
They do not consider, man. It just hit me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they walk right past us. They didn't consider.
Yep.
You know?
So yeah, it's not because they stupid. They rejected knowledge. They didn't want it.
Well, you know what? That will make you stupid. If you know the truth and you reject it, somebody say don't run it. If you bump into a brick wall and it hurt and you bump into it again, that makes you stupid.
Right.
Or if you know what happened and you do it anyway, that makes you stupid. We're telling you, man.
Right. It's a brick wall right there. You ran into it the first time.
Yep.
Then we tell you, don't do that again. You do the same thing and run into the same brick wall again, you're a stupid person, man.
Yep. It's not that you're ignorant and didn't know, because we're telling you. We tell you every Saturday. You just stupid.
Right.
You're stupid, man. You missile, but the missiles got to hit something.
Yep.
I was driving, I was just thinking about Jake and how stupid they are and the things they do in the hood.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? But the missiles got to hit something. You
Yep.
know?
This has got targets, I mean.
Yeah.
And they're going to hit them ghettos, man.
Yeah.
So don't think it's not, all right? It's going to get real nasty, all right? All right, that was it.
Yeah.
All right, man, we hope y'all brothers was edified. And, all praise to Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, double honors to the elders, honors to you brothers once again. And till next time on GMS Myth Destroyers, How about Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatham? Shalom.
Shalom.